CFG Game Cast, episode number 162, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Fridays and release it on podcast services like Apple, Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Podbean, and so much more. So show us some love and do us a big favor and give us a like on Facebook and subscribe on our YouTube or follow on Twitch or go to our main website, confreaksgeeks.com, to not miss an episode. I am Mr. CFG Games himself, Davies Green, and with me today are my two awesome co-hosts. I got Lex in the second seat. How are you doing, my cyborg?
Hi, I'm all right. Just been hanging out. Played some Forsake last night, the game that Smitty can't ever pronounce, and it was great. Did not get the new killer. I was a little sad. I think we played a good 10 rounds, and then I played a few by myself. I soloed it, which it's really not a game to solo, but I did pretty good. And twice, though, I went into a match by myself and clearly did not get the killer I wanted, and so I backed out. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I didn't really stream this week. I wasn't feeling so great. Shark Week, ooh ha ha, got me. And yeah, just kind of been hanging out. They ran out of my seizure meds this week, so that was fun. Cold turkey for 2 days. Yeah, other than that, nothing really new, Just been doing stuff and things. I put little lights in the kitty house so you guys can see her little fuzzy butt. Just little home improvements, getting on ladders and stuff. So it is a game where it's a team of up to 4 people. Good start, right? It's a game. So you can have up to 4 people, and what you do is you're ghost hunting, essentially. It's an entity, and when he comes close, you can see your breath, your light will flicker, and certain ghosts, if you're down the hallway and around the corner, if they don't look directly at you, they won't necessarily come after you. But you're in different areas. So there's the suburbs, a psychiatric hospital, a police station, a school, and a wooded camp area are your maps. And each time you go against this entity, you are also going around collecting things to then get rid of the entity. So it's not like the normal ghost hunting where, okay, we figured out what ghost it is and now we're done. No, you have to find the little circle and put the items down for that specific ghost and then get them to come over and walk into the circle and entrap them and then free the spirit, essentially. So it has a very satisfying end because you get to watch them scream, and I like it. But I didn't get the new killer. I was real sad. But it's a really good game. I could play that for hours, no problem.
It's
a good one.
It's just a matter of time. But you know what, Lex?
Yeah.
You know who's still on that high, beating me in the first ever Versus episode of Marvel Snap?
I do. His name is?
The 5-star general of the itty bitty Smitty committee. I got Smitty in the third seat. What's going on, my dude?
Yeah. Doing well, my friend. It was actually a pretty busy work week for myself. It was good, though. There's been, like, work-wise, things have just been kind of nuts. I just got official word that I will be down at the Level Up convention again this year. I believe it's the 17th through the 19th here in Las Vegas, but I'll be emceeing some of the panels out there. And it's going to be real difficult because we've got Demon Slayer panel has been announced, and
oh god, Smitty's gonna be fangirling.
I know. I can't, because I remember, and I did them last year too, but I remember that there were so many people I didn't even get a chance to ask a question. So you better believe I'm gonna be making sure that I'm gonna start that session off with at least one question, and then I'll turn it over to all the other folks. So really excited about that. I got some other projects that I'm working on the back end as well. So things have been going really, it was quite productive. Like I said, I got a ton of sleep this week too. So like, I forgot how good you feel in the morning when you actually got a decent amount of sleep. And
we switched roles, man.
I know.
I couldn't. You did.
You guys would be so proud of me. I haven't taken a single nap this whole week. A single nap this whole week. I have
Where's our
fallen asleep
applause
on the
button?
couch at like 9 o'clock. That has happened. But again, so it was great. It was nice, productive. We're into February now. There's all kinds of events, especially out here in Las Vegas, that's going to be going down. So it's going to be a busy month of just content going out, gaming things and stuff like that. I'm really pumped about it. Otherwise, gaming wise, I'm not done yet. Gaming wise,
I said that's awesome. Shut the mouth.
Gaming wise, I've been playing Destiny 2 back on that Iron Banner, and I've been having a great time. They got rid of for some reason there's no freelance Iron Banner this time around, so we're getting put in with teams and stuff like that, and I've been having a great time in there. I think I find my combo, my sweet spot. So I've been having a blast playing that, and then excuse me, other than that, I haven't really played much of anything else. I just, I've been going to sleep early or falling asleep early, so usually I get my gaming in at night, so I just haven't had the time to do so. It's been Destiny 2 and then falling asleep.
Did you see that the Destiny the new expansion of Destiny is the free game of the month for PlayStation?
No.
Yeah.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
Hold on.
That is not true. It may be showing it, but there's no way the free game of the month is Lightfall. There's absolutely no way.
Let's find out.
I know. I knew this was coming, Scyther. But it's like, I still like I will always be a night owl. So I'm sure my schedule will start slipping and stuff like that as well. But I am enjoying being up in the morning, and now if I could just figure out a way to boost through the night or at least to like 1 or 2 o'clock, then I'm good.
See, I
I'm sorry.
I
You're
feel
right.
icky every time.
I know I'm right.
It was Destiny 2 Beyond Light is the free game of the month.
Yeah.
Is that the most recent one?
That's the one.
Right now?
No, the last one was Witch Queen.
So what's Beyond Light? Is that
that was the big one before?
Oh, so it's 2 behind?
Yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
wow, that's funny.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way they're giving that away for free.
They're doing that for free.
No
They're like,
way.
you know what? In the goodness of Sony's heart, we're giving it everyone a chance Sony for free. That's
for the fans, money.
One day.
Money.
Let's throw that sucker away. Let's just put that in the closet for a minute for the fan.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What about you, dude? What? How was your week and everything, man?
It was actually pretty crappy, to be honest with you, because like so the winter storms happened again in Texas, so of course something has to go out, and I just bought a new house, and I thought I'm good. Apparently not, because the furnace decided to crap out on me when I absolutely needed it at its best. So I had to literally leave my house for 3 days because temperatures went down to 45 in the house. So this is when the winter storms was hitting around like 20 or 30 degrees outside. So it's freaking insane. Yeah. So it was terrible. So I was like, so I was away from my computer. I'm like the first night I was at a Red Roof Inn, and I will say this to anyone who's ever been to Red Roof Inn, don't go to a Red Roof Inn. So that was terrible. And that was a nightmare. And
wait, now I want to know more. Why?
Oh my God.
I haven't been to a Red Roof Inn since I was like 6, but
well, there's a good reason why you never were able to go back, because man, the place was disgusting. It was not.
Oh. Okay, that makes sense.
Have you ever gone to a hotel and you're like, there's no way I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna put these sheets over me, in blankets and stuff, because 9 times out of 10 they don't usually clean the base sheets. They usually just clean the comforter at the top on the top.
No, they don't clean the comforter. Yeah, it's the bottom sheets.
Okay, so they only so they barely clean. It's freaking disgusting. So yeah, usually I bring a blanket myself, and then I usually just have it. So I was in a rush. So when I looked at the thing, I was like, I'm just gonna sleep on the couch because I didn't even sleep on the floor. I didn't
That's
even sleep
even
on
worse.
the bed. Yeah,
You know
so
what people do on the couch?
I don't even care. That thing was
Okay.
unsanitary. But anyways, so I was deciding to I decided to say, you know what? Whatever. So luckily they were able to fix whatever was broken with a temporary part. So I'm back in my house.
I'm so sorry.
Just came back today from that from all of that. But what was cool before all of that, I went to a garage sale and I found this bad boy, a good Virtual Boy, for only $20 with like a crap load of games and stuff. But like there's no way in hell I'm gonna be playing this game, playing it, because man, this thing is not good for your eyes at all.
No.
Garage, yeah, not good for your eyes at all whatsoever. So it's gonna be displayed on the shelves and stuff. So definitely love that. Love that thing. But then look at the controller though. Mind you, this system came out in 1994. And look how this controller, how nice this controller was back in the day.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, so it's like the basis of what the GameCube controller became, in my opinion. But it was good for the most part. Other than that, it was good. I was able to wasn't able to release the new episode of Pop Culture Gems because of all the stuff that happened this week, but it's going to be moved over to next week. But I'm trying to get back to normal. After this weekend, it should be back to normal for the most part. Go back to streaming and everything, and stuff. So, yeah, that was my week. Yeah. It was a piece of crap.
Sounds like it.
It really irritated me because I was like, really, this house, I've only been in this house for 2.5 months. Like, this is a brand new house, brand new furnace. Everything is brand new. And the furnace is the thing that breaks down. And I'm like, are you serious? It's like, yeah. So anyways, I know y'all want to talk me bitching and moaning about furnaces and then red roof ins. So let's go through the normal rigmarole that we like to do each and every week. So each of us chooses a topic of this, or a topic or discussion of something of the gaming world from the previous week. Wow, that was horrible, I will have to say. But the topic would or could be a game itself or something that happened in the gaming industry. So we don't want to talk about it amongst ourselves. We want you, the listeners and viewers on Twitch, on YouTube, and on Facebook Live to be a part of the conversation. So if there's something that you're wanting to add and what we're talking about, by all means, just type it inside the chat. We would love to talk it amongst everybody here, and we'll just see what everyone's opinions are. So let's get this party started. So I will start today, and I want to talk about E3 because E3 is coming up. It's coming in 3-4 months. June, right? So yeah, it's coming up. So E3, as you know, is a big gaming expo that a lot of folks like to come and flex the games that are up and coming and stuff. So usually in the past you had the big three like Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony to be part of it. But this year they've officially announced that Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony are reportedly skipping E3 this year, 2023. Now, it's kind of weird to me because this is the weird thing. Sony hasn't really been to an E3 since what? Last of Us, I believe. Last of Us Part 2, I think. So this isn't, I don't really consider this to be like mind-bending like news breaking in my opinion, because like I've thought like, okay, so and then Microsoft and Nintendo's switched over to the Nintendo Direct format years ago, 5-6 years ago, and they've done this every E3 as well. The only presence that they did have at E3 was they did have a Nintendo area with the Nintendo games and stuff, but they didn't really do a presentation there at the event itself. So and then as for Microsoft literally has an event next door to E3 in, I want to say it's Staples Center, but I think it's called like Crypto Center or whatever it's called now, or whatever. But Staples Center is at. They literally have an event next door, and they do all their Microsoft stuff and things there. there too. So what I was amazed about when I heard about this like information, because they just announced this, I believe yesterday or the day before, that people were so surprised. Like they weren't they were ragging. They're like, oh, they're like, good, that shouldn't E3 doesn't deserve it, or like E3 needs to just go away in general and stuff like that. I'm saying I was trying to I don't usually like to reply back on Twitter, because Twitter is just a cesspool of just negativity. But for the most part, I did talk to the people that I do know personally that were so surprised about. I just let them know. I was like, listen, Nintendo, Sony, this isn't really news to me. I'm not. They're saying they're not going to be a part of E3, but that's not saying that they're not going to be doing anything unofficially outside of the event itself during that time, because they do it all the time. They do it like Microsoft does their own Microsoft events and live performance, or their live event outside of E3's time frame anyways. And same thing for like Sony, and same thing for Nintendo's. That's not saying that we're not going to hear anything from Sony or Nintendo during this. So I don't think that people should be kind of like freaking out about this news per se. So I just kind of wanted to get y'all's what y'all's thoughts were on this, and like, and do you really think that this is something that like, do you think like overall that they should come back to the event and do it, and just like have a live event and just have the or just do what they're doing right now, just skipping out and just doing their own thing?
Okay, and yeah, no, okay, so. Yeah, they've been absent here for a bit now. I was really hoping that there was going to be enough to draw some of them back. But you're right. There's really no point. There's the directs. They see that the directs are effective. I could see more companies doing that, and just sticking with those routes, especially the bigger companies like that. I don't think it's going to take anything away from E3. What I did realize that I missed about E3 was that nonstop, hard hitting, you know what I mean? Like world premiere after world premiere, all the new things, being able to do the bingo and guess what's going to come. I really missed that when it was gone here last year. So I'm personally looking forward to that excitement. I think the idea is to try to go down there and actually go to it in person, which I think in itself would be a heck of an experience. But yeah, I don't think it I see why they're doing it. I think that will continue with the Nintendo. Obviously, Nintendo been doing their own thing, but they still, like you said, they still had some sort of a presence down there as well. So maybe we see Sony and Microsoft do something similar, because to me, like the Summer Game Fest, like that's stretched over like multiple months, and it just doesn't have quite the same feeling. It almost seems more of like an industry thing than people going and watching. It's too drug out for me. I like something that's a few days, that's going to hit you hard with all kinds of great new things that we can look forward to. I'm still looking forward to E3. I think, again, Pop Warner has taken the reins on that. So they know how to put together good conventions, good shows. So I'm excited to see what's to come with it.
I agree. So Sony hasn't been since 2019. Have I missed them being there? No. And I agree. E3 is one of the only ones that I can confidently say that I enjoy. Like when we do our watch parties for things like that, E3 was the one that I really liked. The other ones, it was a yawn fest for me. It's kind of, I equate it to like if I go to the movies and I'm there to see, a big, let's just, a big movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the movie we've all been waiting for. And the trailers before it suck. It's kind of like, well, that was a waste. Why did I rush to get my popcorn and sit down with my drink? I want those trailers to hit me hard. I want to smack Adam on the arm and go, I want to see that. I want to see that. I want to see that. And that's how I feel E3 is. I'm always, ooh, I wouldn't normally play that, but maybe, and E3 just does it for me. They're really good at what they do. They make it very interactive. They don't show you stuff that isn't worth showing. Do you know what I mean? Like there have been so many times they just show Starfield. And you're like, great. That did nothing for me. You showed me a logo and the background of a sky. That looks just like blue with dots. Thank you. I didn't care, and I think, again, they know how to put on a show. They know what they're doing. Sony does their own thing. They seem to pop up when they really have something that's really like The Last of Us 2. And Nintendo, they've been doing their own thing for a while too. So have we missed what they've been bringing to the table? No, not really. And am I watching their shows with as much excitement? No. So, I think E3 is going to be great regardless. It always is. They know what they're doing,
Well, I just think that like when people are trying to get the excitement of when you see the big three is saying that when they announce that the big three are not going to be a part of an event like E3, people are freaking out. I'm saying I went to an event. I went to E3, the physical E3 2019, and the big three weren't there either, and it wasn't as bad as you think it is, because keep in mind, the gaming does not revolve around those three. I mean, it's not
Right.
just, I mean, it's Microsoft, yeah, PC and stuff like that. But keep in mind, there are thousands of small like indie developers. There are insane amounts of like developers that isn't necessarily Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo exclusive. I mean, there are a lot of different kinds of providers and stuff and things like that that are there, that makes the event fun. And what will make it even better, to me, in my opinion, because now since they did isolate, they changed it to 2-day press and then 1 day free, it's going to be even better, in my opinion, because I will be like, I don't have to be fighting. I don't have to be fighting against the crowd of people who are staying in line to play a 15-minute demo of a game and stuff. I mean, like Namco. I mean, even though I'm not a big fan of them, Namco Bandai is going to have a lot of presence there. Or like, can you imagine a Embracer Group with the amount of different kinds of companies and stuff like that? Yeah, I mean, these things, like, it's a good experience. Then on top of that, this is not officially saying that they are not doing anything for that weekend. They're just not doing it with E3. So I think that's another thing, is that a possibility that people need to decipher, because I think that it'd be crazy for them to think that they're just going to sit back and let these things come out when people are openly hyped about all these game announcements and stuff like that that's coming out during that time.
And I think, for me, when I think about it, 90% of the games I play are all indie developers, and I know that's not the case for everybody, but those are the ones that I'm really interested in seeing and wanting to hear, because the little guys don't have a lot of advertisement. And if they do, it's on, things that I'm not seeing. So for me, that's a way for me to then get hyped about these indie developers and what they're bringing to the table, because unless I'm following them on their Twitter, on their socials, or even not heard of them before, I'm not seeing any of that. You know what I mean? And again, people freaking out over it, you guys, it's really not that deep.
Yeah.
It's really not that deep.
Bad. It really isn't that bad. Yeah. It's just people that, I mean, yeah, by default, when you're hearing like, oh, they're not going to be a part of it, it's like, yeah, it sounds like it's going to hurt. I don't believe it's going to be there.
They haven't been.
They haven't been. Where have you guys been?
That's why I was so surprised when I saw on Twitter and stuff, when they're saying, when they're making it as if like, yeah, Nintendo so and so are not going to be there. Now it'll be a different story when you see announcements where like Square Enix is not going to be there, Capcom's not going to be there, Konami, or all these different groups, they're going to all bounce out, and then they're saying that's when you open up the red flags, and you'll be like, what the hell's happening? Which I don't think is going to be the case,
Doors.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So like, it sucks that they're not going to be there, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that they're not going to be there. They're just not going to be there under E3's tag. And then 2, there's so much to do at that event itself, or to be at that event itself, to be excited about it, because like, I would love to try Summer Game Fest, like, because I know Summer Game Fest did have a physical thing last year, but it was very, very small. It was very small and kind of niche on to do it. I would love to have the opportunity to go do that itself too. But besides PAX, there's nothing close to what E3 provides. Like especially for press,
Right.
yeah. So. So I mean, I don't know, man. Like I think that it's cool. Like it's cool that they announced that they're not going to be there, and but at the same time, I'm like, I'm already used to it. it's like I'm fine, bro. I'm definitely
But not only
fine.
that, but it also, that allows some of these, like you're saying, I'll say in quotation marks, smaller companies, because some of them aren't so small, but that gives them the ability to have that spotlight and really get things out and stuff like that. So it still very much has its place in this world and in this format of people doing things directly, still having this event. I really found myself missing that excitement from E3 last year. I didn't
Same.
think I would, and it came around to that time, and I was just like, oh, I don't have a bingo card to do. I don't like,
Yep.
oh, this isn't fun.
And it was like
everybody's been kind of temper people's expectations with all everything else is tempering of expectations. I feel like the one show that you can get hyped about, all kinds of just spicy stuff coming out, is E3.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's like, and then like the E3 was already replaced theoretically last year over the Summer Game Fest. It wasn't the same kind. It wasn't like that excitement, in my opinion, during that time. And it's not even the Summer Game Fest's fault. It's just it was not there. It was just wasn't there. Like with those announcements, for the same kind of levels of announcements. So it's kind of like when people are like saying, yeah, E3 needs to die and stuff. I was like, I beg to differ. I think E3, there's enough space for E3 to be around, and there's enough space for everyone to still do whatever Summer Game Fest or the PAX and all this stuff. They just need to look at different kind of focuses on where they're coming from.
Well, and people also can remember, you don't have to watch it. I mean, I know that's brain busting, but you don't have to watch it. Fun fact. You don't have to be there. We won't miss you. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, that's perfectly fine. I mean, it's like
miss it. I don't care.
It's yeah, pretty much. It's just, but I just find it funny. So, like I said, this isn't DEF CON 1 or whatever. In my opinion, I think that it's okay, perfectly okay, and it's perfectly justifiable in my opinion. Like, Sony doesn't need a reason to show off what's coming out. I mean, Sony will do their Sony presentation online like they've been doing for the past 4 years, just like how Nintendo's been doing it for the past 6 or 7 years, and maybe Microsoft is now with the page what they did last week with their presentation to do online, that they may focus more on doing it more interactive that way as well. So who's to say, So yeah. Okay,
Agreed.
well, that's cool. All right, Lex.
It's me turn. Well, let's nerd out together, guys. So, am I going to keep talking about this? Probably. The Last of Us. Did you watch the 3rd episode?
I did watch the 3rd episode.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm so happy.
That was the first episode I watched, by the
way.
Which I will say can be a standalone episode. If you haven't, I'm not going to try to spoil things for you. But maybe close your ears for a minute. So listen, Nick Offerman. Oh, I said it wrong. Dang it. Nick, dang it. You guys screwed me. No, Nick Offerman, he was in the 3rd episode. We saw it in the commercials before we even saw the 1st episode. They did show that he was going to be in the show. Now, the directors have come out and said, if we can make something better, we will. If what we bring to the table does not enhance the show from what it was as the video game, we will not do it. And I think they've done a really great job of doing that. Now, the episode was 120 minutes.
Which is crazy.
Nick, and it was great. Oh, it didn't feel like it though. It felt like 30 minutes. And I'll be honest, Dust and I, we watched, he put the projector up. I did not do my diamond painting because I was fully focused on The Last of Us, but he watches on his monitor and I watch on our big white wall in his office. And it just full of tears. The entire episode, he and I were both just tearful, and like we held hands a couple of times. Like we stopped and like had to hold each other's hands and like, okay, we're good. Press play. It was that good. Now, Nick does play a gay man. Oh my gosh, I know. He's a straight man playing a gay man. Cry about it. I find it hysterical that people are so upset about the narratives of this game. Now, a lot of the people that I've been reading their reviews a lot of them played the game, and did they just forget that most of the main characters are gay? I don't know. Because a lot of the people, I played the game and it was like that, sir. Sit down. Also, if a straight man portraying a gay man is so good that now his Twitter is filled with, you can come out, we're ready for you, Nick. You know he did a good job. IMBD has been bombarded with negative reviews of 1 stars for the episode because, again, it was a romantic episode about 2 gay men and how they are dealing with what the world has become. And it's different than the game, but I liked the way that they did it. I thought it was beautifully done. And Nick clapped back on Twitter, and okay, sit down, guys. Are you ready? I hope you're ready. It's good. So, Twitter, you refreshed on me. There you go. So, one of the people, someone tweeted to him basically a Bible verse about how what he did was so wrong and against the Lord. And he responded, buddy, your brand of ignorance and hate is exactly why we make stories like this, with a little heart and a dancing man. And I live for it. And then he retweeted this. Nick, I was digging the show until you ruined it for me. 3 episodes in and there had to be gay crap the whole episode. Boy, is this guy going to freak out when he finds out Allie's gay. You need to cut the manly man crap because this wasn't just acting. You're super gay in reality. Here's my thing.
He got pissed off. He got pissed off at him because he was.
He ruined it. He did it. Not the directors. It's so funny. And I went and as we were watching it, we paused it a couple of times to collect ourselves, to hold hands and be cute, right? Which is not usually me. I'm not a cutesy like lover gal with my partner, but it was that touching where we stopped and we held hands a couple times. And at one point, I took a quick little bathroom break and I said, I bet his wife loved this. Because if you don't know who his wife is, I grew up with watching her on Will and Grace, Megan Mullally. She is amazing. She's so talented. And them together makes my heart happy every time I remember they're married. But she said he was actually going to deny this role. And she read the script and she said, you're doing this. You have to stop what you're doing. You're going to Canada. That's the end of it. And to me, I just... yes, thank you. And I just imagine her behind the camera. I
just love the fact that I just love the fact that someone legitimately got mad. It's like, you're not straight, you're not straight, you're gay now. I'm just like,
cut the manly man crap.
That is a legit. So I played in college. I was in Angels in America, and I think we did part 1. I don't think we did part 2. And I played Belize and Mr. Lies, and Belize is a gay character. And I had the same thing happen to me where people thought I was gay. And people were asking like, oh, I had no idea. Like, no idea what? So like people, I mean, again, that's a testament to doing something, and it's super fun to, from an acting standpoint, just to be able to take something or take on a role that isn't me personally
that you wouldn't normally probably take on.
Right. Yeah. And I would say within this that, and I would be a liar if I didn't say that I don't want this to come off wrong. My own bias, I guess, is that there is something inside of me when I see 2 men kissing. I don't have a problem with it. I am very much an ally to many folk. But there is something about it that instantly I can feel inside of me that feels it makes me a little uncomfortable. But again, it's not anything I'm like, oh, I can't believe it. You know what I mean? And again, it's the story. But there's always that instance where if it was 2 women, I would not feel uncomfortable at all. But something in particular, and I think it's just because we don't see it very often. I think scenes and things like this need to be seen more because it is a thing. So it's like, I'm not afraid to know what my own is. Absolutely. Even though I know it's something that happens, I have no problems. But when exactly. But seeing it though is always a little like, just for a moment, a little jarring to me.
But it's kind of like the same kind of thing where it's like the reason why is because you're right. I think 100% right. It's full exposure. It's like we don't see that exposure because of people's like Strong's reactions towards homosexuality and stuff, which is really weird because it's a double standard. Like you said, like we've seen girl on girl kissing, but guys on guy kissing barely. We don't see that. We'll see a lot of that. That's just as the same kind of situation. Like when and I really hate doing this as a weird comparison, but like the beginning of the war in Ukraine, when you saw the videos of the people that were down in the you actually saw dead bodies and stuff on the ground and stuff like that. It freaked a lot of people out. It really did, because you never see that. You've never seen that. Not saying that we should see it, but I'm just saying the reason why people were freaked out.
Not was in our lifetime, for sure.
We've never seen this kind of stuff before. Military has definitely seen it and stuff like and things like that have seen it, the horribleness of what war does cause and stuff. But at the same time, it's just like the reason why it's not because like you shouldn't really be feeling bad on the fact that you will feel uncomfortable of it. Is just it's a matter of you not being exposed to it so much, and then when you see it, you don't know how you don't know, or you don't react because you've never seen it that much, and that's just what it simply is. So like I'm just and to say that if people are going to be being mad at you because you play the gay man, but then now they're like convinced that you're gay because how good you did in that role, right? That's like a kudos to you, because I'm just like, holy shit, really? It's like, my God. Because I mean, dude,
I've done my job.
Yeah, it's like, well, I am the best actor in the world. But like, so like, but it's mind boggling where people's like, hate comes from with this kind of stuff. It's really kind of crazy to me. And then like I said, this episode is freaking powerful overall. And I definitely love the, like, I mean, like, you're like, wow, like all I cared about was like, don't kill Nick Offerman, please. Just don't just stay alive. Don't do anything crazy. Just like leave him alive. I don't care, because like it's stuff. But like and what's even better was that his character himself, what was layered. It wasn't that he was gay. Like, it wasn't the fact that they're like, oh, he was just straight up, he was homosexual and stuff like that. No. You found that out throughout the whole deal. Like, you knew he was a doomsday prepper, and then at the same time, then this dude was like was isolated even prior to all of this, and then it just builds up and it builds up. Like the breakdown of his character alone should be a fucking award in itself, because I loved it. Like this series, it was just unbelievable what they did in that.
His character was super layered as well in the game, and it is interesting because you could have taken it from a few perspectives too. With he's awkward, he hasn't really had a lot of social interaction in how long, and it spans decades, which is beautiful. You see this love develop, and how Nick slowly turns from this character who is not just hiding behind a wall, but he's put up bricks to keep people out, to then Frank is slowly taking those bricks out. And it's funny because I thought Nick was playing Frank. When I saw it, I thought he was playing Frank. And then when they bamboozled me there. But I agree, when we don't see something and we're not confronted with something that, because again, love is love. Whoever you love, that's your business. That's nobody else's. And you live your life and make yourself happy. If you're not breaking the law and you're not attacking my home vehemently, I don't care. I don't care. Really, you do you. Make, and I think that people forget that your worldview is not the only worldview that is out there. We all see it a little differently. And it's, when I came out to my family, some of my male cousins were like, yeah, it makes sense, right? They figured it out pretty early on. And it was a lot of the females in my family who had the issue with it. It was not the males. But then I did have an uncle admit that if I was a man and I was gay, it would be different. But why? Because I am a woman and I have estrogen, it's okay. But if I was a man, it wouldn't be. And why is that? And and you're right, if we don't see things, we're not confronted with them. And I think this story had to be told, and I think they did such a beautiful, I mean, I could literally get into tears. It was so beautifully done. I absolutely loved it. I think Nick did a fantastic job. If you look at that tweet, there's comments underneath it like, "You can come out of the closet now, Nick. We're waiting for you." Yes, he did that good of a job. He did. And I can tell you right now, he loves his wife, and I'm sure he had a blast playing that. And I'm sure he was confronted with, I mean, the look on his face when he first kisses Frank, you're like, wait a minute.
He was terrified.
He is terrified.
Yeah, he was terrified.
He was absolutely terrified. And the character himself in the game was also terrified because he's been living this lie essentially to other people. And now it's looking him straight in the face, you know? And I just find it so hysterical that people are so upset about this. Just wait till you find out Ellie's gay. This is just, you know, it blows my mind. And
it's only Cap says, says inside the chat, just like everyone else can say inside the chat too. What are you going to say, Smitty? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, aside from that it was just absolutely beautifully done. I've been wondering, along with the show, where they're going to have deviations from the game, because there's things that they have stuck, you know, word by word from the game, and scenarios and setups and capturing those moments. But then they've also find those breaths and those moments where they can have some deviation and they can do a little bit. They can give different context. This was just beautifully done.
This was the best deviation that I've seen. Yeah, because like
absolutely.
I've never I knew about it. Yeah.
I didn't even know it was 2 hours. I had no idea I had sat there. I literally got upset at the family because they were talking and being kids and people. And I was like, look, y'all, I am about to go upstairs and watch this by myself. You guys can sit down here with your own shenanigans, but I need this. And it was just so beautifully done in capturing just the human side of everything. It had, you know, it didn't have anything really to do. And really, this is just the culmination of Ellie and Joel getting this. Or I'm not gonna. Sorry, I almost spoiled it. It had, yeah, I totally owned it. My bad. But something else, you know. But like they gave us this beautifully just crafted story, and it was so just human and emotional and beautifully shot and done with such
everything, man,
elegance and grace.
Music,
like,
everything.
Dude, if this is what they can do, I am here for it. This is a freaking adaptation, dude.
Like one of the things I really will appreciate on the Last of this Last of Us TV show was like the biggest thing I really appreciate is that they didn't give it a time frame, like a lock on when that episode is, because like like you said, 2 hours it flew, dude. The whole thing flew by. And especially like how, because that just shows you how captivated you are once you're watching this episode. You're just like, holy crap, what happens next? Oh, what's happening next? And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, it's like for real. And then like when you see some of the small twists and stuff and everything that's happening, and then like and then how it all closes up at the end. It's like you just wanting to say, it's like, God damn, you know, it's just like, it's just like really, well, it was really crazy.
Only Kat brings up a really good point, and I'll touch on this for a quick second. The most humorous thing I've seen initially, or thought anyway, for all those who are like, how could they make Nick gay? How could he be? In the game, he only said partner. That means friend, obviously. Yet, what is highlighted was Ellie with the gay porno mag. Now, so it's funny that you say that. And a lot of women and a lot of my female friends, we don't say, now I am in a straight relationship, I am gay, but I call him my partner because I am also very much aware that the world is not in the same place that it should be and where we need to be as a society. And that opens it up and makes it easier for gay couples to also say my partner, my fiance, my husband, my wife, whatever. Okay. And you're right. They did. In the game, it could have been misskewed, especially if you're not looking for those things. If you're not in the LGBTQIA plus community, you aren't seeing the little nuances and hints in the game that you would normally in the real world, right? And again, he may not have been gay. This could have been two men who found each other in a doomsday situation and just happened to fall in love. Love is love. You don't get to choose who you fall in love with, right? And I think they also made that point very beautifully as well, that it's maybe they wouldn't in a real world situation had this not happened and they had found each other, would they have fallen in love? But because this is a situation and Frank has been so open with him, and he in return has been open back, they can now explore this, right? And I think again, we have to see these, because if representation is not out there, it matters, man. It really does. And like Smitty said, it made him a little uncomfortable. And you know what? That's okay, because we don't see it every day. And if we see this more, the uncomfortability will start to wash away, and we'll just realize at the end of the day, as human beings, that love is love, and it doesn't matter. These people aren't attacking you for your religious views. They're not coming after you. They just want to be left alone. And that's that. And again, that's what this did. And it was so beautifully done. Again, 2 hours of just pure cinematic. I could watch a whole movie of Frank and Bill. And Nick
we did technically.
I mean, yes. And Nick, hats off to you, man. It was beautifully done. I cried like a little girl, and I normally don't cry during TV shows. Adam does, but I don't. And we were just filled with tears the entire time.
You just put dust on blast.
It's okay. I love that he's the emotional one. We are a gender bender in this house, and again, we stopped multiple times to he turned around and reached out his hand, and I held his hand back, and just tears, and it made me okay, maybe I'm not.
Yeah, I ain't never coming over to watch shows with you guys.
That's funny.
No, because Adam will do this.
Also makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, it does. And I'm not a huge PDA person, but it was that touching that we stopped a few times, and he reached out his little hand, and I was like, okay, I feel you. It was so good.
That
and
is so crazy.
I'm not gonna try. I promise I'm gonna try not to talk about it every week, but it just my nerdy little gay heart loved it. And
I'm telling you though, remember I told you when the beginning of all this, that this is not even, which is funny to me. It's they are introducing, you know how Walking Dead introduced the zombie stuff, the comic books into a new a new medium of people that never probably read or opened a book before in their a comic book in their life. This is exactly the same situation. I mean, this is just I just feel like they are just doing everything right now. I mean, for the first season of the Last of Us, I just cannot see unless with what I love is that this was a side story that wasn't emphasized in the game at all. This was this thing that they told you about this character, and then they told you need to go to his house, and then you go to his house, and then you find the car, and that's what you need to do to progress in the game. That was it in the game version. This, I loved that they gave them a backstory, and then they just showed how crazy how crazy of the world building that how serious they are about the world building of this series. It is, but to kind of get back to your point though, I will say this, Lex, I will probably make this stop it at here, leave it at that though, is I love that people were more concerned about the gay relationship on the fact of what the hell is happening in the world.
Oh my God.
I was just oh my God. It's dude, there's clickers and there's all these different kinds of things that's going to kill. It's no, but I just can't be on board with a man on man.
Face is eaten off, but the gay peoples will bother you, Jimmy. What happened? I mean, what happened? Really? That's what you took away from all? Oh my God.
It's
people. And sometimes I forget in my little bubble of you guys and my close friends that our view is not what everyone else sees, and the intelligence of some people in this world, 90% is not where we're at, and it just blows my mind. And also, use commas, you idiots. Jesus, I can't read half of your reviews because you don't use commas or periods. Where are you, 85? Stop it.
Yes.
So,
I'd say, as a black person, it does not surprise me one bit. You know what I mean? It's all, yeah. It's just there's just a lot of people out there, and Twitter is definitely a place that people can spew their ridiculousness. And again, all you can do is try to educate, and you don't have to go out and try to change people's minds. I feel like that's where a lot of the fighting comes from. It's dude, you can live in your ignorance. I feel sorry for you that you feel that way. You're missing out on a whole bunch of great things
Right.
and people and all kinds of stuff to it.
I'm not forcing you to see my world
Yeah.
point of view, and you're not going to force me to see your
Nope.
world point of view, and we can be okay in that. And I think
Mhm.
that's the issue, and that's why I loved that he retweeted that Bible verse, and then politely told him your ignorance is not great, bud. And
Mhm.
because again, I'm not trying to change anyone's views, and just because I am now dating a man also doesn't mean I'm not gay. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people, and that's something I come across all the time. So you're not gay? No, I am. I just happened to fall in love with a man. So you're straight. No. And it's like, don't put labels on me when I've told you what I am, and this is what they've done. They have now set the tone. This is the show. This is what you should expect. And if you don't like it, don't watch it.
It's the
Simple
fucking
as
source
that.
material.
Sit the fuck down. Right.
Like literally, dude, clearly,
Jesus.
like this is
Ellie's
all this
gay.
is showing the people that clearly did not play the games.
No.
Yeah.
Or they weren't paying
As well
attention.
as-
Holy
yeah.
moly.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways.
So I'm done with
you
my-
think
with my
it's
favorite.
already been renewed for a season 2.
Yeah.
That's age, not saying.
Oh no.
Anyway.
Smitty's
Smitty.
is gonna hate season
Yeah.
The Rams gonna. Smitty, why don't you close us off here? What are you bringing to the table, dude?
Yeah, something a little lighter. This is actually really sad news. I don't know if any of you guys had the opportunity or had heard about it, but Epic Games basically released in conjunction with what is the name of the studio? Iron Galaxy, a free-to-play BR game called Rumbleverse, and it was a little different, as in it was more of a melee style. You didn't have like weapons and stuff like that. It was like a wrestling battle royale.
BR.
I don't know if you've had and I don't know if you've seen videos or anything on it, but it was fine. But it only the big thing about this though is that it only released about 6 months ago. I know it was in beta for a little bit. There's a bunch of streamers that were playing it, so they had a ton of marketing and stuff like that for it. But for some reason, it only released here about 6 months ago, and they are calling it quits as of February 28th at 10 a.m. CST, which sucks. It came out in August of 2022. So basically, Epic Games had announced that they're going to be doing that, and they're going to be. So they said, here's a couple of things here. They said that any player who has spent real money on Rumbleverse can apply for a refund. That's an eligible refund for buying a premium edition of Rumbleverse or spending cash to obtain in-game items. So they're going to make good on that stuff, which is fantastic. A final update for Rumbleverse will be released, or was released. I'm sorry. It gave the current battle pass to all players. Developers have also doubled XP games. Emotes and other accessories have been unlocked and are available for free for everyone. So up until the end of this month, if you haven't had a chance, it would be a good time to go in and check it out if you're into battle royales. Again, Iron Galaxy, they're the ones that did the Killer Instinct reboot, which is really solid. So they, this, and I watched people play this game. I downloaded this, but I never personally played it.
See, and I thought you did. I
did not.
I have a vivid memory of you playing this game.
Really?
Yes,
No,
I don't know why.
It was not this. It was not this game.
Sure.
You're just making stuff up. That's it at this point.
I'm telling you, I never played it. I
every
watched
day and
people
I
play
dream.
it.
Okay, I can't tell what's real anymore.
That is what it is. But yeah, so I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on this. My big thing too is that we kind of talked about this a little bit, but the whole BR genre has. They've got their established games within those. It seems that people are having a really difficult time. Whatchamacallit, just First Soldier, the mobile one for Final Fantasy, that one just closed down as well. So it seems like it's not easy to break into that genre. And Davies, you had mentioned that it's just oversaturated. Everybody saw the money that was going into it and everybody shifted over to battle royales. You got battle royales for everything now. And I feel like it is definitely kind of
Evil Dead. They just announced their Evil Dead just announced their battle royale.
Yeah, they added
I'm
battle
sorry,
royale.
Evil Dead?
Yeah.
Evil Dead, the game. Yeah.
Has a battle royale?
They just added it in the update patch. They added it in the patch.
When are we going to play it?
I'm not gonna play that. I don't wanna play that.
What do you mean? We don't even play
I
that
don't care
game
about-
as
You get
is.
to, you get to
didn't
play as
enjoy
the
that game?
Deadite. You're a Deadite, and
Yeah.
it's you versus 40 other people or 80 other people, something like that.
I would try that out.
I would-
I mean, back in the day, like when like when
Phenom's
Battle
gonna play.
Royale was kind of getting was starting to get kind of popular because of, I mean, there was the two. It was PUBG and then there was Fortnite. And then
Yep.
then Fortnite was the one that kind of, copied PUBG for the bit. Like during that time, it just blew up. They were realizing, oh, we can make a game as a service, this cheaply and just see where it's gonna go. It just blew up. I mean, freaking Call of Duty when they switched over to the war zones and stuff and everything, and then even now, the tweaking of what they do with BR is today compared to what it was like 5 or 6 years ago is insane to me. Like it's just like, wow, it's crazy, and there's just so many of these different small games from these developers and stuff that they think that they can get their that they're going to get their whale of money from these games. Is just so many of them think that it's so easy, and in reality it's like, nope, it's you may be the shit, because like I thought Rumbleverse was good for the longest of time. In August, the Rumbleverse was getting at least 1.5 million people playing it coincidentally directly when it first came out, and I thought like, oh, that's pretty healthy, And but then like at the end when I was looking at the numbers, that dropped from 1.5 as well as it was going to, but it dropped quite significantly to literally to only tens of thousands of people. So I can understand why they're needing to do it, but man, but it's a dog eat dog situation that you got to keep your guys
6
relevant.
months though.
That's
barely any time for it to get on its feet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like these big ones, these big battle royales, even those developed over years. Those didn't just all of a sudden come out and we're like, oh, you're good, and everybody's gonna want to spend the money and do things. Like that stuff developed over years. So, this seems very premature.
Yeah, I agree. It does seem a little premature, and I'm curious what the logistics are of that. I think he had a doorbell ring, but I was like, did my doorbell ring? What is that? Here's the thing, and I joke that I hate Fortnite, but I'll be honest. Me and my friend AJN, every once in a while, her and I go nuts on that, and between the two of us, we win 90% of our duos when we play, and I say it's just because of her, but we work so well together as a tag team. But her and I have turned around and tried to play other games in battle royales, and we have not had the same success. Why is that? Well, because like Cap says, the intrinsic, it's really difficult to make a game that's as good as what's out there currently, like Fortnite, and also have the same mechanics but not copy them, but also copy them without being them, and then still make it work. And this game, it wasn't a game that I would have played, but again, if AJ was like, hey, I know you're not that huge of Fortnite, but I would love to play this with you, I would have picked it up. But and again, it is a dog eat dog world, and there is so much in the market. It is very oversaturated, but this game did look good, and I would have happily played it. I just, me, I'm in my little indie world of horror games and all of that fun stuff, and I just, being disabled too, I have a hard time picking up newer things just because I know what I know and I like what I like, and I play those things. But it is really sad to hear that only after 6 months. But I do appreciate that they are giving people their money back if you did spend money. That's always a big thing for me when games do go under. If I've put money and time into this, you better give that back to me now. I want my money. I spent my time. You're not giving that back to me. I need something.
Depends. I mean, like,
yes and no. I agree.
I mean, this is 6 months, though.
It's only 6 months.
I can get warranties longer than that. I mean,
my furnace works longer than that. Yeah.
I mean, like, if they're gonna openly say, like, shoot, like, there's certain. I think it really depends on the situation when it comes to that. But yeah, 6 months. Yeah, you definitely asking for your money back, especially when they're telling you season passes and all this stuff and like the microtransactions and all this extra stuff, you're like, wow, you're telling me I could get this special mask for $10 that's only going to be good for 6 months, that's going to be gone. It's like it's deleted. It's like no, I want my $10.
It is really sad though, and I'm curious of again what like the back end of this is and why. I feel like I'm not getting that answer, and it sucks. You either win some or you lose some, and maybe they're pulling this back so that they can then put the time and effort and money into something else that is going to be a big hit. I don't know, but
I think it's definitely money because I mean, dude, server
it has to
costs
be.
I mean,
they're stupidly expensive.
I get it, but 6 months though. I feel like that's not very epic of them. Like I can't think of like too many things off the. I mean, and the biggest one obviously that I think of, and for right reasons, was Paragon. And them shutting down Paragon and moving over to Fortnite. Obviously, that was bringing them a ton of cash.
Yeah.
But this is, again, oversaturated. I think it has a good niche. It has something that's different. It's not guns. It's melee, which is different. It had a fun style and art. The play was good and fun, but there just wasn't. I think part of the problem too is that there are just too many good games. Plain and simple. There's too many good games. This ain't back in the day where like you got a game for your birthday or Christmas and then you're good for like the year at least. You know what I'm saying? Like
you better be, or else they're taking that system away. We're not made of money.
Like Endboss says, could be the reverse. Overwatch made all the your free cosmetics into massively overpriced ones. I think Overwatch's deal is just as a whole is just completely dirty. Just the way in my personal opinion, I think that what Overwatch did is so
dirty.
far from the end of what normalcy is for a game to do is so far fetched to me that I think it's in its own special category, because I think it's bullshit personally, and I think and two, I mean, this is just me because Smitty already knows I'm not a big fan of Overwatch already, but I just think that just to overall like how they treated their community is just is totally uncalled for. That I mean, if I wanted to go with it, so but like as for BR and stuff. Like as for the BR in itself, I just think that you're right. To be successful in BR, you need to somehow reinvent the wheel to kind of set yourself apart from the other ones that are actively there. I mean, like Apex Legends did that surprisingly really well, and stuff, things like that.
But that's already a built-in fan base too.
No, it wasn't. Not when it first came out.
What do you mean? Titanfall?
But people,
and it was a hot drop.
It's in from Titanfall was it's from the Titanfall world, but people weren't going to buy the game because of Titanfall.
The game was free, wasn't it?
No, was it free? I think it was free.
No, not Titanfall. Freaking Apex.
No,
Legends.
Apex. Is Apex free? I don't remember.
Yeah, hell yeah, it's free.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, not only did they hot drop it, but it was free. And it was good, and it was a universe that people were familiar with. They checked multiple boxes. Well, I think there's a bigger community than you realize in terms of
people
for eight
like
or
rioting on Titanfall 1. I remember all that.
So like they hit
free from the get-go.
Yeah, they hit multiple of the boxes. I think this is where something like this you just didn't. There wasn't enough hype for it. There wasn't enough to keep coming back. There wasn't enough.
I didn't see a lot of marketing for it either.
No, there was a ton of marketing.
Was there really?
At least for like streamers and stuff like that. They had a bunch of streamers playing this game and getting out there. Like that's how I knew about it, was from watching other people play. I was like, oh dude, I was like, that looks great, man. I was like, that looks like a lot of fun.
I watched other people play it, but I didn't see like open as I'm, doing my research for podcasts or other gaming things to see what's coming out. I don't recall seeing a lot of marketing in my face for this game. I saw other people playing it. I swear I saw you playing it. Apparently it wasn't you, but I remember you talking about it. But yeah, 6 months is not a lot of time.
Yeah,
how much was the game?
It was free, wasn't it? Was it free to play? Free to play.
It's free to play.
Huh.
It was terrible.
Yeah,
But-
yeah, it's free to play.
Well, we'll
It
sorry.
just-
Sucks,
It's-
man.
yeah.
Well, rest in peace,
Sorry to
Rumble
see you
Verse.
go.
Sorry to see you go so fast. I wish you had a better chance out of it.
Yeah.
It looked like a fun game.
I agree.
My friend was streaming it a little
Peace,
bit,
peace.
so it was good. So
Yeah.
okay,
Yep.
but anyways,
Bye bye.
guys or folks, thank you for listening to episode number 162 of the CFG Game Cast. Thank you for being a part of the conversation as always. We will be back again next week. Actually, we're going to be Lex free next week. So
I know.
Yeah,
My
so-
little's turning 11. Crazy.
Yeah, so, but that's okay. That's not gonna hold us back. But if you
Don't
did
let
miss
it.
out on this episode, don't worry. We release this on all podcast services every Monday, each and every week. So there's absolutely no reason to miss out on our sexy voices.
I'll see you next time.
And guys, just to let you know, we'll be back next week. We're going to be releasing the episode of Pop Culture Gems that was supposed to be this week, but because of unforeseen circumstances, we had to delay it. Comes out next week. But you
Dang
also check that
furnace.
out. Yeah, I know, right? Dang furnace. Yeah, but check us out. But be sure, do us a favor, subscribe to our YouTube channel, the CFG. This will give us so we get our goal to monetize on CFG's the YouTube CFG channel, and be able to do some more stuff and things that we want to do and to provide the community. So folks, this is Davis, Lex, and Smitty signing off. Y'all take it easy.